Hello and welcome to the channel EVS Edu, a channel that is wholly and solely made for the environmental science and its multidisciplinary approach. Dear friends, let us begin with the first topic, environment and its introduction. The term environment is widely used and has a broad range of definitions, meanings, interpretations. What does the term environment mean in popular usage for some people? The term simply means nature or surrounding. Everything that surrounds and affects living organism is environment. The word environment is derived from French word environner, which means to encircle or to surround. In its most literal sense, environment simply means surroundings, or we can say environs. Hence, the environment of an individual, object, element, or system includes all of the entities with which it is surrounded. It is a composite word for the surroundings in which an organism or a group of organisms live. The basic needs in which all organisms live are air, water, light, temperature, sunlight, wind, other factors, etc. Therefore, environment includes everything around the organism. This environment word has multidimensional aspects. The perceptions which varies from man to man. For some people, the environment is a natural landscape together with all of its non-human features, characteristics, and processes. To the other people, it is the environment is often closely related to notions of wilderness and pristine landscapes that have not been influenced, or in this meanings, when we say that has not been influenced, it means that certain people say that environment is a vast wilderness, or at least that have been gradually influenced by human activities, or not domesticated or dominated by human activities. However, for the other people, the term environment includes human elements to some extent. Hence, the environment is variously the backdrop to the unfolding narrative of human history. The habitats and resources that humans exploit, the hinterland that surrounds human settlements, or wilderness that humans have not yet domesticated or dominated, as I already mentioned. With these different perspectives and meanings, there is a vast definitions of this environment, and certain people have defined this environment in different. I am going to define environment in this way that environment is the sum of all social, economic, biological, physical, or chemical factors which constitute all surroundings of a living organism who is both either creator or modular of this environment. Or we can say this environment is defined as the sum total of air, water, and land, and the interrelationships that exist among them and with the human beings, other living organisms, and materials. The concept of the environment can clearly be understood in the figure depicts that environment is the sum total of all conditions and influences as depicted here, which affects the development and life of all organisms on Earth. The living organisms vary from lowest microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, etc., to the highest, including man. Each organism has its own environment, which has a multi-dimensional meanings and definition, as I already mentioned in this lecture. Dear friends, let us proceed ahead. With these definitions, when we clearly understand that environment is sum of air, water, which surrounds an organism and their interactions within an environment has various functions. And here we talk a few as an introductory functions of environment in relation to man. This environment performs three major functions in relation to man. Number one is recreation and aesthetic. Environment provides aesthetics and recreation to the man. For example, when we are talking about the vast landscapes, green pastures, fast flowing rivers, etc., and so on and so forth. This environment is a source of natural resources. There is plenty and diverse natural resources within this environment. For example, forest, mineral resources, soil resources, etc., and so forth. And third one is sink for the wastes produced by the human activities. In our daily life, we produce tons of the wastes, and those wastes are dumped into the environment. Hence, this environment is considered as a sink. Either we can dump into the ocean, on land, or any other place in this environment. When we proceed ahead this environment, there is a three questions. Number one, these questions are related to the environment. When we say it is sum of all surroundings, the first question is, what is surrounded? The answer of this question is living beings, living objects in general and man in particular. Then, second question, by what surrounded? The physical attributes. And the third question, why surrounded? And the answer of this question is when we talk about the physical attributes, it means that environment is the representative of physical components of the earth, wherein man is an important factor affecting the life. And proceeding towards the third question, why are surrounded? The answer of this question is it is in nature that physical component of the planet Earth, that is land, air, water, etc., support and affect life in biosphere of environment. Environment has broadly three types. Number one is natural environment. Natural environment is a self-regulatory mechanism in which any change in environment is brought about by natural processes and balanced by changes in other components of environment. For example, forest, forest. For example, rivers, oceans, lakes, and etc. Second is man-made or artificial environment. Man-made or artificial environment is regularly modified by the man as per his need. The man, the man-made or artificial environment includes technology, transportation, housing, agricultural implements, channelization of various energy resources like hydro, thermal, and industrial revolutions, etc. And the last type is micro or macro level environment. Micro level environment refers to social, psychological, ethical, and motivational processes involved in the impact assessment of environment. Examples are humans, their likings, dislikes, stresses and enjoyment, privacy, effects of crowding, ambience, etc. These factors are included in this group of environmental analysis. Macro level factors include pollution, greenhouse effect, temperature, large space crowding, etc. The next these are the three broad types, and as per the court living, environment is of three types, which is influenced by the personality of an individual. These three types are physical, social and cultural environment, and psychological environment. Physical environment simply means that it refers environment simply refers geographical climate and weather or physical conditions where an individual lives. Second, social environment. It includes an individual's social, economic, and political condition wherein he lives. And the third, psychological environment. Although physical and social environments are common to the individual in specific situations, yet every individual has his own psychological environment in which he lives. Kurt Lewin has used the term lifespan for explaining psychological environment. The psychological environment enables us to understand the personality of an individual. Here and I conclude this chapter, introduction of the liked it. Thanks for watching.